Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome to In the Crease, our weekly look at Furman women's lacrosse. I am Dan Scott, along with head coach Kirkland Lewis, and this week we have a very special guest. One of Kirkland's players, Hannah Dintino, is here in studio with us, coming off of you want to say a week of mixed results, but the second result is the one that kind of stands out and where we're going to spend most of our time, because on Saturday, go to the number one seed in the Big South Conference, Campbell, and win on their home field 15-14 in overtime. Something of a signature win of sorts in conference play for your team. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was really exciting, and I think for our team, we knew going in that we could win, and we fought that whole entire game, and I think it just made it better. The atmosphere of that game and doing it at their home stadium was just exclamation point on top of it all.
And now all you got to do is just keep doing it again, right?
Yeah,
no pressure.
We're 2-0 in overtime, so
which we know you love so much.
Yes, I've spoken about how much I love overtime.
Hannah, have you caught on to the fact that your coach hates going to overtime?
I feel like I could sense that, yeah.
I don't think there's a coach that really loves going into overtime, but just in that game specifically, it was so crucial. I guess in both games, really. So it just makes it a little tense, but the team always stays pretty calm, I would say.
As a player, how mentally, how did you handle overtime?
I think I just go in, locked in. I'm not one of those people that I'm, getting crazy on the sideline trying to amp myself up. I just go in and I tell myself, if we don't come out on top, that's not going to be good, so we have to win. And I think in the moment, it's very just, blank faces, we just know what we're doing in the moment, and I think that's what kind of leads us to success every time we are in overtime.
I think last week when we talked about this, we used the whole duck example.
Yep.
Calm
on the
up
surface.
Here and underneath everything's churning up, but you gotta keep everything calm, not let the opponent see any weakness. And obviously it worked out. Let's go back and briefly talk about what happened at against High Point here at Paladins Stadium.
Yeah, we started out really strong. We just were capitalizing off of our opportunities, and I think it took, a split second of, lack of focus, and they came out on fire, and they went on a, 9-goal run on us in the second half, and it was hard to climb back after that. But in the fourth quarter, we started to come back a little bit and start competing again, which was nice to see. So the score, I don't think, reflected, how the game actually felt and how I think we walked away from that, which made, I think, going into Campbell even more, competitive for us, because we just knew we had to capitalize on that next opportunity.
Hannah, what's it like as a player in a situation like that when you can feel things getting away from you, when your coach talks about them going on a 9-0 goal run? What's that like in the moment?
Yeah, it's really frustrating. I think especially because I was on attack and I could just watch the defense just getting frustrated, losing their momentum. So that was really hard for us. And I do agree with Coach K. I think we made an adjustment in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't enough to come back and kind of make that score a little bit different. But I think that we definitely learned from our mistakes. And in Campbell, it was a lot of different feelings. When we were on attack, we were like, okay, now we have to score here. This possession really matters. When we watch defense kind of get frustrated on the other end.
Well, and that's what you do. You adjust in game, and obviously film work and practice after the game. But it's the ability to adjust on the fly that can be the difference in winning and losing sometimes.
Yeah, it is. And I think, too, for us, there's only so many on-game adjustments or in-game adjustments we can make with the personnel that we have. So it really does boil down to, people playing off the bench and the 12 people on the field to make the change. And sometimes it can be hard mentally. You can be giving it your all physically, but mentally it's hard to get over the hump, especially when you keep looking at the scoreboard and you see things, the margin getting wider.
Roster being what it is this year under the circumstances, you're going to be on the field a lot.
Yeah.
And so there is a physical aspect that can come into it from a fatigue standpoint. What about the mental aspect of it?
I think mentally, I just know that we have what we have. And I think for me, that has been a lot of just learning how to approach my teammates a certain way. It's not like if one of my teammates is having an off day, they just get to come out. They need to make that adjustment on the fly. So I think as an upperclassman, I've really learned to go up to my teammates and be like, hey, I need more from you. I know that you can do better. And I think that's just been something that we've had to do this year with our numbers. But I think that it does kind of bring us closer together, and I have that connection with all my teammates now. And they also know that when I come up to them and I'm like, I need more, and I'm doing it in an intense way, they know that they have to make that adjustment.
And you talk about being an upperclassman when previous coach took the other job, and the timing of it was what was so difficult, and some of your teammates decided to move on and do something. You decided to hang around, not knowing what the future was going to hold here. Why did you do that, number one? And B, what are the rewards that you've seen for sticking it out?
Yeah, I think I didn't choose Furman for the coaching staff. I chose Furman to be here, and I chose my teammates above everything else. And I told them, before we left for winter break, I said, I'm choosing you guys. I need all of you to stay here. We have so much potential and we can do this, but everybody has to buy in. And I think Coach K and Coach Bree always say this, like, it doesn't matter what your numbers look like. It's just about what kind of heart you have and what you want out of it. And I think that's something that's special to Furman, and I wouldn't get that everywhere I go. And I think just as an upperclassman, just being an upperclassman has been so rewarding because I know that all my teammates respect me, and I think that they all look up to me in a certain way. And for me, that just fills me with gratitude, and I know that that's just going to make me a better person, and it makes me want to get better every single day so that I can set a good example for all my teammates. And also, I just think all the adversity we've been through has made us best friends, and I wouldn't ask for any other teammates to do this with.
What do you think when you hear her say that?
I mean, it's just what the message has been the same. I think from before I even met HD, I think the administration was like, all right, like, you got to get HD on board. And so when I did meet her and she was kind of like, I need a coach that thinks that we can go into any scenario, any team and win, I was like, well, yeah, of course. And I think from there, we just have always put ourselves in, with our non-conference schedule, we always went into those games knowing that we could win. And then when we didn't, it was upsetting, but we went back and we just work harder and demand more from, everyone as a whole group. And I think, again, it really has paid off. When we get to an undefeated conference opponent and we're able to take them down, we see how much we've been growing since, the beginning, before there was even a coaching staff in place and they were doing everything self-motivated, to putting systems in place, to seeing the product on the field.
And, we would all like the athletic experience to be what we see in the Hollywood movies where the music swells and you have you have the great moment every time and the game-winning shot or whatever it is to win the championship. And you haven't experienced that all season long. There have been ups and downs, but you did get the moment to a certain degree against Campbell. Everything you've been talking about here, how did all of that feed into, at least for that one moment, being able to hold it together in overtime on the road against the number one team in the conference and get the win?
Yeah, I think that game sent so many messages. I think it sent a message to all the other teams in the Big South. We're here to compete and anything can happen in the tournament. But I also think that sent a message to myself and all my teammates that we can do this. We're here. We've gotten a little bit better every single game, and it's finally showing off and it's proving itself. So I think as a team, we really needed something like that to just tell ourselves, like, we can do this. We're capable of this. Any team that we see moving forward in the tournament, anything can happen, anything goes.
Was there a point in that game where you thought, we can do this?
The whole entire game,
Yeah.
I never felt as if we were out of it. I did feel the momentum change. And then I said, I turned to Coach Brand and said, here we go. And the sentiment behind that is just that we have to actually compete now. We were ahead. We had a good lead and dwindled down. And then it was just time to really focus in and get it done. And we were able to do that. And it wasn't a quick overtime. It was back and forth. And so it was really rewarding and really exciting.
We are in the Crease talking Furman women's lacrosse. We do this every Monday. We'll do it again next Monday when we'll review the final game of the regular season, which we will be talking about in just a moment, and look ahead to the postseason. And at least one more Monday after that. We hope it's going to be more because we're no pressure, but expecting a big, long postseason run.
Yeah, we're expecting it too.
No pressure.
We'll be here on Monday.
No pressure at all. But let's talk about what's coming up on Wednesday. It's the final game of the regular season. It is senior day here, senior night, 7 o'clock against Presbyterian College.
Yeah. So Presbyterian, I think, is just another opportunity for us to really make sure we're all operating on the same level and tying up loose ends, because it's our last not regular season game before going into tournament play. But to honor this group of seniors, I think will be really special because they've been through it all and they've helped build this program. So to celebrate them while also capping off the regular season will be really exciting.
And I've been doing this long enough now where I have seen this on multiple occasions. When a new coach comes in, senior night the first year can be, I don't know if awkward is the right word. It all depends on how it's approached, because you didn't recruit these girls.
Right.
But the ones who hung around and have put in the work and have bought into what you have wanted to do now are laying the foundation for the rebuilding of this program. So there's got to be a special connection, even though you're only with them 1 year.
Yeah, I think, though I didn't recruit them, I think it feels like, in a way, this whole team recruited me, and I don't ever take that for granted. And I think these seniors were so great in the early transitioning, like in early January, of just reaching out and letting me know how things go and trying to help me find my way. And they're great leaders, and we have 2 of them that are captains, so I meet with them weekly, and just being able to get to know them has been really special. And it's one of those things where I just wish that I had more time with them, because they are such a great group, and you can feel that just in 6 months' time.
What about it from a player standpoint?
Yeah, I wish I had more time with them too. They are just amazing people. They've been there for me all 2 years that I've had with them in different ways, and they've just become my best friends. And getting to be a captain with Ellie and Farber has just been such an honorable experience. Even though I'm supposed to be leading with them, like, they're still my leaders, and I look up to them in so many ways. They just inspire me to be better, and I'm gonna miss them so much, and I'm really excited to honor them on Wednesday.
You get to come back and do it one more time, though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she's not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
That's what I'm saying. She gets to come back and take this whole experience that she's getting as a leader now, and get to carry it over to another season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the exciting part, is that when you talk about laying foundation, the fact that we did have 2 seniors and a junior, we don't lose everything. HG gets to be around and do it all over and step into the roles that Ellie and Farber will leave for her to take their place. So it really is just a really cool thing to kind of see it all, how it'll keep coming back around year after year.
What have you learned this year from that standpoint?
Oh my gosh, so much. I don't even know where to start. I think the main thing I think of when I think of being a captain is that I've learned to be so much more self-aware about how I'm reacting to things, what my body language is saying, how I'm approaching people, how I go about things, my attitude. I think I take a step back every single day, and I'm like, what can I be doing to give a good example for all of my teammates, senior to freshman? And it's just been such a rewarding experience. I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about my teammates. I try to meet with all of them every now and then just to get an idea of where they are and how they're feeling, and I think that's just been so memorable for me. I've gotten so much closer to all of them, and I've just learned like what my body language and attitude says to other people, and it's just been a very rewarding learning experience for me.
Kirkland, I'm hearing what college athletics is supposed to be here, preparing you for life, right?
Yep. Yeah, no, I mean, and the nice thing about this group is that I think they are realizing that in real time. All of the adversity and challenges and demands that are being asked of them, it doesn't change once you get out of athletics and out of Furman. It's actually what life is, and they're taking those lessons and growing from them, which, I mean, again, I've only been with this team a short time, but you just see the growth from January to now, and it's incredible. And a lot of it is just them working together to figure things out and coming back to the table time and time again and asking more of each other, and then going as a group to reach a goal.
Well, the goal in the immediate is a win over Presbyterian College to close out the regular season, and that would send you into the postseason on a 2-game winning streak. So momentum's always a good thing, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's exciting.
All right, good stuff. Anything else before we wrap it up?
No, thanks for having me.
Excited?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
All right, good. Well, we will be back again next Monday for another edition of In the Crease, and that'll be our look back at the regular season finale, find out how many tears were shed on senior night, and look ahead to the beginning of the postseason for this Furman women's lacrosse program. Thank you, Kirkland Lewis.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Dan.
Hannah Dintino.
Thank you.
I am Dan Scott, and we will see you again next Monday for another edition of In the Crease. Until then, I'm Dan Scott saying God bless you, and so long, everybody.